to go on the stress management. So what is that stress management, and how the stress management works, and how the stress management also has to have a very great. First of all, let's see what is a stress. So stress can be defined as a mental, physical, emotional, or behavioral reactions to any of the perceived demands or threats. So threats can be anything as the same. Stress can be anything that threatens us. So stress can be defined as a mental, physical, emotional, behavioral, and reactions to any perceived demands. So the fight or flight response. What is that fight or flight response is? When situations seem threatening to us, our body reacts quickly to supply protection by preparing to take action. This psychological reaction, we call it as fight or flight response. The psychological response to a stressor is known as reactivity psychological responses, and it can accumulate and it result in long-term wear on the body. For example, if you are about to stress, that is, imagine that you have not prepared anything for your examinations, online exam. Let's just take it up an online examination. So you know all the protocols of the online examination. So you thought that you can manage it. So you didn't prepare that much. On the last time, they have changed some online protocols. At that time, you will feel a heavy stress. A heavy stress will be inputted in your brain to complete the exam, how to complete the exam, how to manage the 3 hours of time, or how to keep track of what you have learned, and how to remember what you have learned. All the stress would impact a very great effect on your brain. At the same time, automatically your brain will start to react. That is, it will start to give you some ideas about negotiating the examinations, or it will give you some ideas about revising some important concepts, or sometimes it will be very blank at the last minute. So this, when a stress arises, how the brain reacts, this we call it as flight or fight responses. Okay. So first of all, let's see what makes us something stressful. First one is situations that have strong demands. That is the very important thing. The demands, or we can call it as expectations, or we can call it as needs, or we can call it as we work for someone's satisfaction. So all these things that put stress in our mind. So situations that have strong demands. Situations that have strong demands means when you work in a company, and when you go for an appraisal interview, or when you go for an promotion interview, there you are working good in a company, and you know what is the expectation of the manager. So if the expectation of the manager is high, you will feel the interview as very stressful. If the expectation of the manager is not that much high, then you will not feel the interview as a very much stressful one. So the strong demand first creates a stress. The second one, the situations that are imminent. Imminent means where there are some situations that seems to be imminent, that makes us to take a shortcut, or that makes us to take a alternative path to reach us. Those situations will create a stress on us. And life transitions. Life transitions is a great thing. That is, the transition happens when you finish your school and you go to your college. And when you finish your college, you go to a job. And later, the transitions of life, when one job to another job, one role to another role. So you are going to have some transitions in my life. Those transitions will create a stress. That means that is when you go into a new transition, like when you are in a school and you have completed the school. So when you are about to enter into your college life, so you will be stressed because you are not known about what is happening and what will happen in the college life. And most probably your brain will not accept the new cycle and your brain will not accept the new upcoming era in the life. So that really creates a very great stress in your brain. So that's your ambition. And once you finish your college days, there you get a very good stress about grabbing a job because you know what is the market scenario and what is the trend and you know how the that is the employment opportunities are very less in the country. So there's so much of facts and there's so much of histories and so much of life experiences from your seniors will create a very great stress in yourself to get a job in a corporate or get a job in any company. So there you will be get more stressed. And also after you're getting one job, you feel that the job is not good enough and you feel that the salary is not good enough. At the time, you feel that you can go for a thing where it suits you and where it creates a comfortable situation, there you will get a very great stress. So these kind of transitions will create a stress in you. And timing is very essential thing that creates a stress. That is, when there is a very small time limit, but you are given a very great task, then you would find very hard to finish all the tasks in the particular in the given particular time. That also creates a very great stress. So if you fail to manage the time or if you are not able to cope up with the time, then also you feel very stressed and you are not able to manage the activities and you are not able to manage the work within the time limit. So that will create a very great stress on you. And the ambiguity and desirability and controllability, everything, the controllability when your parents control you more, when the norms, when the educational norms controls you more, when the government laws controls you more, or when the family economy controls you more, there you feel very more stress and the desirability, everything. So these are the things that are unavoidable things. We can say these things as these are unavoidable. We cannot avoid these things from our life. We cannot live a life without these things. This is the true fact of the life. We cannot say this is happening to me alone. And we cannot ask anyone why this is happening to me and what is the reason this is happening to me. I'm feeling more stressed because of these happenings. How can I get rid of these happenings? No, it will not happen. It will never happen because you cannot get rid of these happenings in your life. These are the nature of life and these are the fact of life and you are getting stressed from the nature and fact of the life. So only one thing what you can do is you cannot get rid of all these happenings but you can manage this stress. So we can say not all stress is bad. So stress is not that much a bad concept. Also stress is not a word that is really it's really a hurting one. So sometimes stress is also good. So sometimes stress also gives us a good opportunity. Sometimes the stress also can give us a very good beginning. So so this is what we call it as the stress management, the thing which helps us to grow. So we can take the stress into a positive way. We can take the stress into a productive way. In that cases, we can say the stresses are good. So distress is a continuous experience of feeling overwhelmed or oppressed and behind in our responsibilities. It is the all-encompassing sense of being imposed upon the difficulties with no light at the end of the tunnel. So examples of distress are financial difficulties or conflicts in relationships or expressing obligations or managing chronic illness or experiencing a trauma. So these kind of things is a continuous experience and it is because of the oppressed and the over responsibilities. And if we can find one more word like eustress. So eustress is another form of stress that is positive and beneficial. We may feel challenged, but the sources of the stress are opportunities that are meaningful to us. Eustress help provide us with energy and motivating to meet our responsibilities and achieve our goals. So examples of eustress includes graduating from college, getting married, or receiving a promotion, or changing jobs. So these are called eustress, and also you can have a eustress like changing your habits or reducing your weight, and you can changing your eating habits and learning something new or practicing something new. These kind of eustress are also available, and that creates a very good positive effect in your life, and that paves the way for a positive impact in our life, so that we can say that not all the stresses are bad. So what are the stress responsibilities? For example, a good example of a stressful situation for many people is taking a test. Is of course many people, not many people, all the people would feel a stress if they are about to taking a test. So if you find testing to be stressful, you might notice certain physical, behavioral, and mental emotional responses like physical response, behavioral response, mental response, or emotional response. You can examine yourself. So what is more in yourself, like which is the physical responses or behavioral responses or mental responses or emotional responses. So as of me, I will feel the mental responses or not the physical responses or the behavioral responses. I will see the mental responses because there are some kind of people who do not show up all the thing what is happening inside. So some people would affect that. Some people would give a physical response for the stress. Some people would exhibit a behavioral response for stress, or some people would exhibit a mental response and emotional response. So you can do an analysis like what is stressful to you, how it is stressful to you, like work, the roommate, the legal matters, the classes, the child care or mental health, studying, financials. You can have this, you can just read this table for a minute, and you can get to know what is more stressful to you. Some definitely more people will select more options. There is more than 4 to 5 options are stressful to you. Some people may choose a very less number of options here because they could manage well. So these are some of the common factors that makes you very stressful, and these are the some common factors that comes in your life that gives you stress and also a distress, both of them. So you can just mark some of the thing, and you can write it in a paper what is the most stressful thing, and if you have managed that stress in any effective or productive way, you can mention the same in the paper also, right? So why do we stress out? What is the reason we stress out that we should manage? One thing is, for the few major reasons we will stress out. One thing is, we perceive a situation as dangerous, difficult, or painful. Another thing, we don't believe we have the resources or cope. So first thing, let's take a dangerous thing or difficult thing or painful thing. So from the factors what we have seen before, so a friend, a death of a friend or a relative, or a relationship broken, or any kind of thing, any kind of disappointments. So these, there are such situations which creates a stress in yourself. And other thing, we don't believe that we have the resources to cope. For example, when you are attending an interview, that you don't believe that you have enough potential to pursue the interview, or you don't believe that you can hit the interview. In these kinds of, in these courses or in these cases, you find yourself that you do not have enough resources to pass the situation, to come out from the situation. In those cases, we feel that there are, you feel very stressed out. And what about the stress warning signals? There are some warning signals that we need to work on immediately. So what are your red flags or warning signs that stress is creeping into your life means? If we keep pushing ourselves, eventually something instead of use will send red flags or warning signs that stress is becoming a problem. That means if we keep pushing ourselves, eventually something instead of use or will send red flags. If you, what you do is you are doing a thing for the first time, and you feel it is a very stressed. So you managed and you finished the task. So again you are going into the same situation, like with the same kind of problems and same kind of difficulties. There, if you feel the same amount of stress that what you had in the previous time, then you are getting a red flag in your life. So, okay, the next step is also okay. If you are facing the same situation, same thing like is happening in your life, if you feel the same amount of stress again, definitely you are in a very dangerous stage. So if you keep pushing yourself, eventually something inside of yours and it will send you a red signal. That means you are not automatically moving into the situation. You are pushing yourself into the situation. You feel very difficult to cross the situation, or you feel very hard to sometimes to even to face the situation also. In those cases you can see that you are feeling a very high stress, then you should work on that stress to get rid of it. And we can have some suggestions for reducing the stresses, whatever the things is. First of all, find a support system. Definitely we all need a that is support system. That means find someone to talk about your feelings and experiences. We see some persons are very silent and some persons are very isolated, they are reserved and isolated. They will not open their heart to all the people, or they will not speak out about their weakness, or they will not speak about that is their negative, and they will not speak about their problems to all the people. But when we see the people, they seems to be very normal, and they are not seems to be very stressed, or they are not seems to be in a problematic situation also. But what is the thing is, those kind of people have a heavy stress on their body and their mind. So they need a treatment immediately. So who can be, this is a way, that is finding a support system and speaking with someone who is very close to you, or speaking with someone whom you trust very much. So that really creates a very support system around yourself, and you feel that is you are bursting out your stress when you speak with the people, when you share that to some other people, because when you share everything to the people, they give a solution in a different perceptions, and that means you can view the same problem in a very different way. That helps you to understand that it is not a that much great problem to worry about, and that it's not a very great problem to think about. So this kind of thing will help you to go out of the system immediately. That is seeking a person's help, or immediately discussing with a friend or anybody. That really reduces the risk. And change your attitude. This is very more important. That is, find other ways to think about stressful situations. So life is 10% what happens to us, and 90% is how we react to it. So in the previous seminar we were discussed, life is full of choices. So we can, whether we are happy, we are sad, we are energetic, we are not energetic, everything depends on the choices we made. So 10% of life is happening to us, 90% of life is we are creating it. So if you can thing, that is, if you feel that you can get out of the stress, definitely you can come out of the stress. That is called changing the attitude. So you can find some ways to think, that is, you can push yourself to come out of the stress, or you can push yourself to involve you in a thing that really you enjoy, and you can put yourself in a way, or you can put yourself in a place where you feel relaxed, or you can put yourself in an environment where you get so much of care, so much of love, and so much of trust, and so much of fun. So that really changes the stress between you. Or yeah, or else you can have a good food when you are feel stressed. So these kind of changing your attitude will really help, because more than seeking a support system, before seeking the support system, you can change your attitude, or you can seek a support of yourself. That really helps, and it will work. So changing your attitude will really help to reduce the stress. And next one, be realistic. So set practical goals for dealing with situations and solving problems. This is a very good. If you are not realistic, then you are going to get more stress in your life. So be realistic always. Do not go into an imaginary world. So do not believe the fantasies. Do not keep the fantasies as your goal. So set the practical goals and set the practical points to be discussed and set the practical ways to be followed. Set the practical steps to be followed. For example, some people would say that have some goal, very funny goal, like they will not meet a doctor at all. So they don't like to have that is some medications and treatments. So this is not actually a practical goal. And sometimes some people would say like I want to become a CEO of a company, or I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to run my own organization. Some students may say that goal, but when the staff asked to come in front of the class and speak something, they fail to take up the opportunity. So what is that? Here, whether the setting goal is not practical or the taking steps are not practical. So when you grow up, if you find a way, that is when you grow up, when all your college days has been finished, or when you work to the next step, when there you find some way to start up your own organization, but you feel yourself as not skillful because you lost all the opportunities what you got in the college days to build up yourself or to make up skillful. Then obviously you are going to lose up your dream and passion. So that dream and passion we call it as the non-practical goals. It is not a practical goal because if it is a practical goal, then you would have practiced something in your college life. So there is no connection between the goal and your actions. This we call it as the non-realistic goals. So you should not develop those kind of non-realistic goals, or if you develop those kind of realistic goals, you should practice the way or you should take up some way to achieve the goals. So develop realistic expectations of yourself and others also. Sometimes you need to accept yourself. So you need to accept your reality. Reality can be changed. That definitely it can be changed. If you accept yourself, you can walk towards the change. If you are not accept yourself, you cannot work towards the change, and also it will create a very great stress in your mind. So to be non-stressful, develop realistic expectations of yourself and others in your life. And next one, get organized and take charge. So being unorganized or engaging in poor planning often leads to frustration or crisis situations, which means always leads to feeling stress. Unorganized means everything. So unorganized time, unorganized activities, and unorganized meetings, everything will create a great stress in ourselves. So when you organize, you can feel free that there is everything is clear in before you. If it is unorganized, it is not clear in before your eyes. So you cannot see anything in your vision. So you could travel in a dark. So that really creates a stress in you, because if you are not able to see anything what is before you, then you would not travel freely along the path. So that really creates a very great stress in your mind, and it will create a very great stress in your body as well. So get organized. So that is the thing we can do. So get organized and take charge. So what is the thing? Take responsibility. Take charge in the sense, take responsibility. Like do not say that everything can happen as per my fate, or everything can happen as per my luck, or everything can happen as per my time. No, not like that. You take charge of the situations, like how you can change the situation, or how you can face the challenges, or how you can turn up these kinds of challenges, or how you can use some tools, or use some techniques, or use some support systems to handle these challenges. So get organized and also take charge of the thing that is happening in your life. Then you clearly know what will happen next and what should happen tomorrow. and what is the reason for what has happened yesterday. So everything you will get a clear idea if you are organized and if you take charge of the situations and anything. But if you say, what can I do? This is my fate. What can I do? This is my bad luck. What can I do? This the time is not good for me. If you go on like this, then you completely depend on a thing that is changeable, and you are completely depend on a thing that is completely imaginary. So if you depend on a thing that is completely imaginary, all the days what you're going to face is a stress and stress one. So in those kind of things, it would be better for you to take charge of the responsibilities. Always say you are responsible for your success. You are responsible for your failures. You are responsible for your opportunities. And you are responsible for your good luck. And you are responsible for your good timing. Everything is in your hand. And as well, you can organize all the activities. And if you organize all the activities and if you take charge of the things that are happening in the life, then you can walk freely or you can move freely around the situations in your life that will not create a stress in you. And this is another thing. Take breaks, give yourself me time. So that is very much needed. Me time. Me time means or some guys are like that, always spending time for others, like pleasing others, making others happy, and enjoying with others, or anything. You do more kind of things like studying for others and working for others. So much of things we are doing for others, traveling for others. At some time, you can take a short break and you really analyze what is very much needed for you and what is your time, and what do you like to have in your time. Like if you want to have some snacks and watching your favorite movie, definitely you can do it, and ignoring all other things in your life, you can take some time to you. And if you are happy, if you go for a long drive, you can go for a long drive and enjoy yourself. Or if you are happy to go with if you are happy to go with that any most favorite places you want to visit, then you go and take some time and visit. So rejuvenation. So rejuvenate yourself. So take time to rejuvenate yourself, and relaxation is very much important as like you are handling so much of responsible activities in your organizations. At least minimum, you don't have to make a very great time for yourself if you are busy. Otherwise, you can take a very minimum time or you can take a very short breaks during your busy days, especially your busy days. So you can take a whatever or 5 minutes, or you can go for 10 minutes, or you can go for even half an hour during your lunch time to take a break and regenerate yourself, and you can walk and you can mess up with the busy work again. That actually gives you a very free, relaxed and stress-free situation, because from the morning time you would be stressed, and if you are adding up the stress to the next half day, it would add more amount of stress in your brain. But after the morning time, if you take a break of 10 to 15 minutes, then you work on the remaining time. That really helps you to get relief of the stress what has happened in the morning. So in that cases, a short break really works, and the short break will really regenerate yourself, and the short break can help you to complete your work in a very effective way. And next one is take good care of yourself. So self-care is also important to be to be that is not stressful. Why it is that much important to be self-care, or why it is that much important to be thing is, so one is if you fail to take care of yourself, at one point you will start to expect it from your situation. So if you are not taking care of yourself, you will feel more stressed. Then you will start to blame your situation, your friends, your family members, your organization. They are the responsible for your stress, and they are not taking care of you. They are not taking care of you, and you will start to you will start to blame others for your self happiness. That adds more and more stress to your life. But if you practice a simple self-care habits in your life, or if you practice a very simple self-care habits in your day-to-day life, like buying some good dresses, what do you like, and dressing up like what do you like to have, or doing a good makeup, or doing a good hairstyle, or visiting the parlor often, and at least 2 to 3 times, in a week, prepare your favorite food and eat. And if you like to go for a walk, at least go for a walk in the mornings. Or at least if you like to watch a movie, at least watch 3 to 4 movies in a week. Or if you like any book, spend some time to read that book at least in 2 times in a week. So these kind of self-care habits really reduce the stress to a very great level. And maintaining your physical fitness, and doing some physical exercises, and going for a cycle ride, or going for that is visiting someone else. So these kind of thing really helps, and these kind of little bit self-care or added to your daily day life, that really helps to reduce your stress very much. At the one time, you feel that you are more satisfied, and you feel that you are really enjoying your life. You feel that you are really in a part of life where you attain a point of satisfaction. That when you feel that you are enjoying your life, when you feel that you are good and satisfied in your life, the point of stress creation is very much less. So that even when you get stressed, at the very next day you can go out of the stress. So you will be in a stress in a very short time. So this is what this point says. That is paradoxically, the time we need to take care of ourselves the most, sorry, is the time we do it is the least. So if you take some time for yourself, then the stress time is going to be very less. So this is a very good suggestion to reduce the stress. Take care of yourself and learn to say no. This is what we have discussed in the previous classes also. So learn to pick and choose which things will say yes to and which things you will not. So if you feel that it is not necessarily needed to you, practice to say no immediately. So don't say yes for anyone's sake. So if you feel that the job is not actually fit, and the job is not one actually, you are going to be the best version of yourself, directly you say no to that. And if your friend is calling you for a dinner, or if your friend is calling you for a party, already you are so busy, you are physically so tired because of your work or because of the events you organize. So if you are tired, but your friend is actually calling you a party, so actually your friend is calling you a party, there you can go and you can enjoy the time with. But as per your current scenario, as per your mindset, you are so stressed, you are so stressful, and you are physically too weak. At this particular time, what you need is the physical rest. So you know that the physical rest can give you a stress relief. The physical rest can give you a good strength so that you can work at the tomorrow morning. So at that time, you should barely say no to your friends, because rather than enjoying the party, the physical rest gives you a much great sense of relaxation, and that gives you a good strength also. So there you should practice to say no. And also sometimes you can get some persons in your life who knows very close with you, who wants to share everything with you, or who wants to share their love with you, or who wants to share their belongings with you. So a person will eagerly come, and they will try to have a relationship with you. There you find the person's attitude, or the person's behavior, or the person's character is not that much pleasing to you, and you feel that the person is greatly annoying, and person is really is not hardly fitting to a time that really gives you a sense of relaxation. At those times, what you can do is you can directly say no to that person, and you can directly say no to that relationship, because you know all the relationships are not good. Even great amount of love, the great amount of care will not give you a stress relief. But when you see that it creates a stress in your life, you start to say, or you practice to say no to that relationship also. You can practice to say no to that more love and care and affection, because more than the love, care and affection, it may create a stress in you, because the stress which comes because of the relationships, or the stress that becomes because of spending time together. So that really actually creates you a stress, and that will help you not to grow in your life, or that will help not to achieve the goals in your life. For those things, you can practice to say no, for nobody's sake, for nobody's sake, for your health and good sake. You can say no to that thing. That really helps you to reduce the stresses, and also that helps you to avoid stresses in your life. And another one is really the physical exercises. The physical exercises are the one which really gives you a stress relief, and it is my personal experience also. So doing exercise regularly can relieve, can help or some relieve some symptoms of depression and stress, and really that helps you to maintain your health. So not doing an intensive workouts, you can just practice some simple workouts like going for a walk, or going for jogging, or going for a cycle ride, or practicing some basic simple exercises. So these kind of things will really work and it will help you to come out of your exercise. So the doctor says that exercising regularly can relieve some symptoms of depression and stress, and also it helps us to maintain our health. And it is also a way of taking care of ourselves, so that you can easily practice these kind of stress relieving activities. And go get a hobby and do something different like painting, embroidering, traveling. So for a balanced lifestyle, play is also an important. So there is a proverb like playing. See, playing is very much important. All the day you work, and all the day with no play, so it will create an illness in you, right? So all work no play will just make illness. So this kind of lifestyle, that is balanced lifestyle, give you a reducing stress. So nothing is going to happen if you work for the entire 24 hours. So nothing is going to happen if you feel, and if you are very much stressed. I mean, if you are overthinking about the activities, if you are overthinking about the job profile, or if you are overthinking about your career. So nothing is going to happen by thinking over it all the day. But you can think for a while, and you can act for a while, and you can enjoy your life for a while. That is a balanced lifestyle. So that is what actually work also. Definitely the long thinking, the overthinking, it will not create a very good effect in our life. Even it is not more productive, but it will create a stress in our life. So what you can do is, you just get a hobby and do something different. What do you like the most? And that time you can feel yourself the stress free, and you can feel a self love, and you can feel an enjoyable time. So practicing a balanced lifestyle also will create a reduced stress in your life. The painting, embroidering, and cycle ride, or a bike ride, or a car ride, anything you can do. And next one is slow down. So you know your limit, and you cut down the number of things you try to do each day, because as per the fact, we are humans, we are not the robots, or we are not the machines. So since we are not the robots, and since we are machines, we have the limit, and we should accept the limit. Doing 100 to 200 activities per day is really, it's not possible. So even if you have a very good time management, so we have some limits in our life. We have some physical strength that is limited to a particular value. So if we go beyond that number, or if you go beyond that capability, definitely it will create a very stress in your life. So be stick with the number of times, or be stick with the number of things that you pursue in your life. So that's what we said already. Be realistic about what you can accomplish effectively each day, and monitor your pace. So rushing through things can lead to mistakes or poor performance. So take the time you need to do a good job. So poorly done task can also lead to a stress, but a perfectly done task will give you a stress relief, and also it encourages to do the work in a very different way, and it encourages you to do some more work. So if you want to reduce the stress, slow down yourself. If you're running very fast, so not it is not for all the persons. So if you are going in enough speed, please continue. If you go very fast, if you feel that you are doing so much of works in a day, then you can slow down yourself. You can cut off some of the works, and you can cut off some of the activities, so that you can find some time to relax, and with the limit of things, and with the small number of things you can achieve perfectly. That gives you a sense of satisfaction, and that really helps you to work. So this is what suggestion to reduce your stress. And for reducing stress, love and use humor. So this is a very important one. It is a physical activities that is carried over by the diabetics patients or the cardiac patients to get rid of the stress. What is that? So you should love, and you should be exposed to humorous people. Like you can watch some comics, or you can watch some jokes, or you can spend some time with the people who really makes you laugh. So these kind of activities really help you to come out of your stress. Otherwise, you do something fun, or you do enjoyable, like seeing a funny movie, or laughing with friends, or reading a book, or going to a comedy show, or you just go to a park and enjoy all the games and activities, or you go to a theme park where you can enjoy all the activities, and you can enjoy, and also you can laugh as well. So these kind of things will really help you to reduce your stress. And this one, learn to relax. So these kind of relaxation habits, like meditation, yoga, or simple time where you can go to a place where there is no one, and you can have a small nap there, and you can have a very relaxed walk into some forest, or you can go to any hill stations, and you can get a free air to breathe, and you can see some new people, try to have some relationship with the new people. So these kind of relaxations also will give you to reduce your stress. And then relaxation exercises, of course, I would like to point out some relaxation exercises that helps you to come out of the stress. First one is deep breathing. So deep breathing is a very great thing that you can come out of your stress. So just close your eyes, and you can take a deep breath that really takes out the stress in yourself. And visualization. Visualization is a nice way of giving our mind and bodies a mini vacation. So go to a small place, or go to a nearby place where you visited for the first time, and just see it. And what are all the stress management means? So try to change the way to appraise the situation, and makes it less stressful for us. And next thing is, remember, stress is normal, but watch out for the symptoms of stress. So what is the effect of stress? So what is it? Well, you should watch the red signals of the stress that is happening in you, and use coping skills and way to reduce stress, and practice relaxation techniques. And also you can go for the thing which really helps, and that helps you to take out of that really helps you to come out of your life, and really that helps you to go into a place where you find peace. And when you're out of the stress, then you can be a great achiever. When you're out of the stress, then you can see you as a good innovator. When you are out of the stress, then you could see you as a great thinker and great creator, and you could find so much of opportunities that are exploring around you. So the one and only thing that is prohibiting you to live a normal life is you are giving more importance to a stress-free life, but you are not giving more importance to be stress-free. So if you give importance to be stressful, then you would be stressful. If you take some steps to be out of stress, definitely you can come out of stress. So as I said earlier, life is full of choices. So if you want to be stressful, you can be stressful. But if you do not want to be stressful, then there are so much of ways that you can come out of the stress. So the choice is yours, and life is yours, and you can practice all these things to come out of your life, and you can practice all these things to have a very stress-free life. Thank you all.